And now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, you guys, welcome. We're going to talk Clash in Paris, the winners, the losers, and the stories that changed the road ahead. I didn't quote that. I just read that. Our producer, Alex, wrote that. Pretty smooth, Alex, pretty smooth. All right, let's get into this. First off, how was your weekend, sir? What did you do besides watch French wrestling?
Great weekend. I was in Lexington, Kentucky. Got to hang out with the nice people of Kentucky. Had a bunch of sold-out shows. It was great.
Love it, love it, love it, sir. I played a game of BattleTech over my weekend, and I lost. So we're not gonna talk about that.
When you say you lost, you just didn't finish first. There's only one winner.
No, they blew up my robots. I lost.
Oh, real quick. Okay.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Anyway, you know who else lost? Your boy Bronson Reed. Ha. He lost to Roman Reigns. He's on that whole Vision thing with Seth Rollins. I think they can afford to lose matches, those guys, because real soon they're not going to be losing any matches because they're both going to have belts around their waist. One will have an Intercontinental and one will have a
They're stars. Can we just say that?
You can. Go ahead.
They're stars. I don't want to hear any more about, Jey Uso this and so that.
Stupid.
Listen, it is Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Jacob Fatu. That is the future of pro wrestling. Those three guys strap a rocket on their ass, as Triple H says in the new documentary series Unreal. That's the only people they should be working on, just frickin' putting to the top. They're so good.
Jeff loves these dudes, but I would say this, where you don't love Jey Uso at all. No. Jey Uso, I wouldn't say is the future. I would say he's the right now. And I would agree with you that those two dudes are the future, as well as a small handful of others. They have huge potential. I still hate the name Braun Breaker. I think that he's a Steiner, man. Let him have that name.
It'd be cool if they'd let him do that.
It'd be so much more impactful. All these NXT names make me crazy, like Rip Brickman and Mike Winklejohn, all this stuff. I'm just like, dude, what are you just putting it into a chat GPT and coming out with like give me the corniest names ever?
Well, we can't blame Vince anymore. They used to be like, Vince gave him that name. It's like, well, the names continue to be a little strange, don't they?
Slim Jackman. They're all terrible. There's not a good one in there. Oh, Paul Heyman in the hospital from a guillotine from Roman Reigns. So we wish him a healthy recovery in Gay Paris. Get well soon, man. That guillotine looked tight.
What's the over-under on him wearing a neck brace next week?
Well, we're recording this on the night he'll come out, and he will be coming out in a neck brace. 100%. 100%. 100%. Even though it was a choke out and not a neck crank, he's coming out in a neck brace.
There's 100%. Some people that really love that classic wrestling stuff, and it's guys like Xavier Woods. It's guys like Paul Heyman. They're gonna do the neck brace if they've been wronged.
Absolutely. Even if it's in a real life courtroom.
Yep.
Okay, so this was the opening match, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker. I'll put this out there right away. I didn't love the pay-per-view. I didn't think there was a ton of great chemistry in all the matches. In the opening and the closing of the show, I thought were both great. I thought Bronson Reed was awesome. I thought Roman Reigns was awesome. I loved the choke out of Paul Heyman at the end. My daughter goes, why is he wearing shoes? And I go, well, you know how Roman wears the Ula Fala? And she goes, yeah. And I go, and she goes, don't even say that. And I go, what? You didn't let me finish. And she goes, because I know what you're going to say. And I was like, it's the Shula Fala. And she was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Cool. It's supposed to be
wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't vibing with that, but she liked the match. And yeah, so she loved Paul Heyman stuff. She loved watching him get choked out. She was like, Dad, is that how long it takes to choke someone out? I said, in professional wrestling, yes. In the UFC, it's about 4 seconds. But it was a really cool match, a lot of fun to watch. And then afterwards, Braun Breaker came out and speared the shit out of Roman Reigns. And Reigns went down, and then everybody beat him up so he could go make a movie. I mean, because they hate him. So Roman Reigns, who, by the way, has the best teeth in the game, straight up.
I hate him. too bright.
And Charles Oliveira in the UFC, I think they have the same dentist because it's the same set of chompers.
And Jelly Roll. They all got these like porcelain veneers.
Jelly rolls are glowing for sure. Jelly rolls are glowing.
I mean, like they're beautiful teeth, and I'm hoping that maybe just like outside of the stage lights or something, they look different. Like maybe in real life they look like regular teeth, but man, they're distracting.
Well, I'm almost 50 and I drink a lot of coffee, so I'm getting them one of these days.
Get them that bright. Just get some.
No, I don't want to put.
veneers.
I don't want to put my high beams on, bro. I'm just gonna have regular beams on. I'm not high beaming the homies. I'm not doing that. Well, they are.
I mean,
everyone's got fake teeth in TV except fucking me. All right. So you see what the future is going to be. They protect Bronson Reed, even though he lost, by letting him get some licks in afterwards.
A lot of licks.
Yeah, for sure. So you can see, his future and his potential and all that. He lost to, the longest reigning champion of all time. No shame in that. Mm-hmm. He still got his licks in at the end, got some tsunamis off on him, broke his back, broke his ribs, he broke everything. And so they get a good future. But this is your guy, dude, and you were talking about the future. So what did you think about the match?
I loved the way they set up the Roman getting the shoe Lafala back and then him signing the shoes and everyone losing their mind trying to get a signed shoe. It was perfect because he's doing it right in front of Post Malone and Jelly Roll and my boy Josh Adam Myers. And so no one saw the spear coming through the table, which I thought was a very creative way to do that. And then that's why Braun Breaker's out there. So I loved the surprise effect of that. Maybe if you were there live, it wasn't as surprising, but like to us on TV, like it was good. And then also I really liked that he got so many splashes on him. He got so many. What's he calling that move?
Tsunami.
The tsunami. So I love that he got so many tsunamis in. I thought that whole thing was awesome. I loved the tsunami while he's strapped to the stretcher. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I thought every part of it was really good. My biggest thing that I was complaining to you guys in the group chat is just like, how long do we have to watch the audience sing Roman Reigns songs and chants and all these different things?
It was like 9 minutes, bro. It was like a 9-minute entrance. Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm guessing that if I'm in the WWE writers' room, what they're going to say to me when I complain about it is like, Jeff, the WWE universe is important. The WWE universe is part of the product. We want them to feel heard. We want them to like be part of this. We want the fans to have their voice. But here's the thing, guys. That's some live house show bullshit. I'm not in the arena. When I'm watching on TV, I don't want to watch a zoom in of Seth Rollins' face or Roman Reigns' face or whoever they're singing to or chanting to, or right when they put the microphone up to their lips, they all start chanting CM Punk again, and then he starts looking. It's so much waste of a time. If all of these podcasts, all these YouTube channels, all the wrestling fans want to cry every time they release a wrestler or they cut wrestling match times or they're mean to the women's division because they're not getting enough screen time, then we've got to stop this crap so that we can get more wrestling, more stories, more mic work, more whatever, instead of just watching for 35 minutes everyone sing a chant to Roman Reigns. It's too much.
Yeah, France. You got Jeff on one.
Yeah.
So next time, cut that shit in half. You hear me? We don't want to hear you
being wrestling fans, but why isn't the director going, just talk through it? So you don't have to acknowledge them.
It's really hard, dude. It's so hard. I'll tell you this. There's historical precedence for this. Okay, like back when The Rock was popping and he was a full timer. There was an Anaheim show, and I was watching. This is early 2000s, and I'm watching. I was just getting back into wrestling. Wasn't doing like 3 movies a year anymore. It was like, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. I need time off. Oh, hey, wrestling's on. Cool. My man came out, and it was like Elvis Presley was on TV. Like everyone's going crazy. It was a good 4.5, 5 minutes of him just on the turnbuckle, and then he raised an eyebrow. Just, I can't do it, but if I can do it with my finger like that. And the crowd goes bananas. They cut to commercial. So commercial, I'm going to be optimistic, 3 minutes of commercials. They come back in from the commercial. He's on the same turnbuckle with the same eyebrow raised. and the crowd's still screaming and going crazy. And I literally was like, I had just started watching wrestling again. I was like, when the fuck are they going to wrestle? Like, what is going on? What is going on here, man? Like, he's not the real Elvis Presley. Like, he's just got some sideburns and he's buff. Like, well, I don't know what's going on right now. So it's always been that way with the TV product on these like special, like premium live events. But to your point, it's now permeated its way into the Monday Night Raws and the Friday Night SmackDowns. And I don't watch NXT, but it happens in AEW too, where the crowd is just, they take over the show. And I used to be very anti-crowd because the what chant I always thought was very detrimental to wrestlers' mic development work. And then after years of growing and just having more life experience, I was like, nah, they want to be a part of the show, and they should be a part of the show, and that's okay. And if it messes you up, it messes you up. If you find a way to work with it, like Jey Uso did the yeet instead of the what, and he flipped that around on him, then okay, cool, you got that for you. But when they take over a show, it's very distracting to the TV audience. Now, if you're in the crowd, you don't give a shit. You're there. You're a part of this moment, so you feel special, right? Mm-hmm. But just so you guys know, it sucks. It sucks, man. It's so boring to watch.
Also,
that's why I don't watch soccer, by the way.
What do they think we're thinking? Well, what you just said, the soccer players don't stop and acknowledge the audience chanting all those things. It's happening during the product. Yeah. But the thing with the, like, what does everyone think we're doing? Do you think we're at home going, wow, Paris really loves John Cena? I don't care. I love John Cena. I love Paris. I want the crowd to be a good crowd, but I'm not at home going, wow, I really like how much Dublin appreciates the Roman Reigns. It doesn't do anything for us as viewers. We want more wrestling, more stories, more mic work, more moments. I don't like, it's like when they try to brag about how many people are in the audience. Oh, we had a sold out.
You hate that, yeah.
Or they try to brag like, we're switching to USA now. Now we're on Peacock. Now we're on Netflix. Now we're on ESPN. I don't care. None of that does anything for me. Just do the wrestling show. Stop trying to convince me you're some NBA product or something where I'm supposed to really go, wow, they're really popular and people really, I don't care. Just make it wrestling.
I feel like Bubba Ray is like channeling through you right now.
Well, they're trying to like psyop us into being like, did you hear how many people were at SummerSlam? It's like, I don't care how many people are at SummerSlam. It's good for you. You guys should care. It's your business. But why are you telling me? Why are you like, now I'm just going, yeah, it's going to be expensive and I'm going to have to buy ESPN streaming. Like they try to like trick us into like thinking that this is some, like that we would be businessmen. We're not businessmen. We're wrestling fans.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Yeah, I'm a wrestling fan.
Next up was the Wyatt Sicks versus the Street Profits.
Tell us what you thought, Freddie.
I didn't love it, man.
Okay.
I didn't love it. And I like the people in the match. It's just like, sometimes you see a movie, right? Mm-hmm. And you go because you like the two actors. And then you watch the movie and you don't really connect with what's going on because the two actors just didn't have chemistry. They're both good. You've liked them separately in other films. You've liked them with other actors opposite them. But with this, it didn't work. Like, I'm old, so like, not everyone's going to get this analogy, but like Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. They were in a movie called When Harry Met Sally. Loved the chemistry. Thought that was great. She did another series of movies with Tom Hanks. Loved the chemistry. Thought they were great. Then she did a movie with Russell Crowe. No chemistry. Now, a part of that was because, and this is public information, I think they were sleeping together during it.
And
they
say that gives them some chemistry?
No, it does the opposite because all the tension then goes away because you've already had a smooch. So there is no tension between the characters. And the director spoke about this and was very like frustrated about it. Spoke about it in an interview. So I'm not like spilling beans or anything like that. But yeah, so it just felt like the chemistry wasn't quite there. There were a lot of like long delays and spots for me that kind of like took me. I was like, wait, what's going on? Is someone hurt? Like, what are they doing? That happened a couple times. And it happened in more than one match. Like I said at the top of the show, it wasn't my favorite PLE of the year by any stretch. But yeah, this one didn't click for me. And I don't know what to do with the Wyatt Sicks, man. Their characters are supernatural and they're existing in a world that's natural. Mm-hmm. And I'm not seeing the line get blurred. I'm just seeing two separate worlds try to play without acknowledging the other, and it just is just not, it's not clicking for me. It hasn't clicked for me from day one, outside of the debut, which got a little crazy because there was like a bullet hole in one of their wrestlers' heads, and then he was fine the next week, if I remember correctly.
They killed a guy.
Yeah, they killed a guy, and then he came back. But it hasn't. I like the characters. I like supernatural stuff for sure. I love horror movies. I loved Bray. I loved Undertaker. I loved Kane. Like, these are all like horror type characters. But this just hasn't clicked with me from day one. And I don't know if it's gonna, Jeff. Making them champions, I think, was the wrong choice, because I don't think they need a belt. And now it's like they're trying to be mainstream, even though they're supernatural, because they're representing the company as champions. So it's just all weird to me, and it doesn't seem like it's thought through in a way that I can grab onto. Maybe other people are loving it because people still love the Wyatt Sicks. I'm just not loving the story. What about you?
What is so if you're a writer and you're in the writer room, they go, Freddie, you're an actor, you're a Halloween guy, you love horror stuff. How do we fix this? I agree with your criticism, but what's your? Would you have a solution for it?
You have to have a mouthpiece that can effectively execute the message of the Wyatt Sicks, and they have to be really, really strong on the mic. They don't have to be a great wrestler. They're just a mouthpiece, right? It could have been a manager, although it'd be weird to manage a supernatural group, so it has to be one of the group. And Bo has his thing, but his thing is this Uncle Howdy character, which is a very specific point of view, which I don't think is mainstream enough to grab onto. So maybe it's somebody else has to be the voice of them, and you let Bo wrestle more. I mean, he can talk a little on the mic, but you give somebody else. And again, I've mentioned this before, like maybe you bring in someone like Alexa Bliss, but she's doing something completely different right now, so that wouldn't make sense either. So I'm not trying to dump on them without a solution, but I don't have a solution because I don't click. I don't click with the Wyatt Sicks, man. I just don't get it.
I liked this. I'll talk about the match first. I thought the match was fun. I loved that they came down in the video game stuff.
The Borderland masks? Yeah, that was
Borderland masks were awesome. I thought that was really great.
Fun game.
A fun way. So like when I say we, I mean wrestling fans often complain about, the product placements. Why does it say Slim Jims on the tables? Why does it have a Prime table? Why is there can be some criticism when you realize every inch of your product has been sold to advertisers. I thought this was a really creative way to do it, and a way that was cool. I loved the masks. I thought they looked awesome. They didn't go cheap on it. Like, it looked really cool, and the Street Profits looked awesome. The match was great. I thought the match was awesome also. I agree there was no chemistry in the story of this. I think this was like a last-minute thrown together thing, but it still was like at least a good wrestling match, which I appreciated. But I think the problem with it, in my opinion, is like Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis are pretty, I don't know how to describe them. They're not like A-list stars. Like, if you went around and said, he had a picture of Huskus the Pig Boy and Mercy the Buzzard, and you said, who plays these guys? I bet you half the people in the wrestling audience can't even name those wrestlers. And I think that's kind of
able to name the characters that you just named. So
I think that's kind of the problem with the Wyatt Sicks too. Is like we're kind of forgetting that Bo Dallas and Nikki Cross and Eric Rowan, his entire career, no disrespect, but Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy are all climbing. They're all trying to be bigger stars. So you really have a giant faction of people that aren't really there yet, as far as like over with the crowd.
Actors.
Yeah, like people just like, I think they're all great wrestlers and they're all cool looking and they make a great group, especially if you're buying a shirt or a poster. But like when it comes to like them as their own thing, like they're not really there yet. They're not the A-list guy. So adding Alexa Bliss or adding some sort of something that can really put them over. Yeah, they need something. But I think you're right. I think putting the belts on them was a mistake. But I think I still believe in it because I love Halloween stuff. I love this type of like dark kind of stuff. I love Bray Wyatt. So, like, I'm so in on Wyatt Sicks, but I don't know what fixes them. Maybe get them feuding with a bunch of people that are similar in their style. Like Aleister Black could go back and forth with Bo Dallas. Or
He's
you get
a dark
guy
character. Yeah, that's a good idea, man.
Get someone in that realm, or at least close to that realm, that can kind of put them, like let them do their stuff a little bit better. Also, I have an idea that they should use. You know how Toni Storm, whenever she's wrestling in AEW, it goes to black and white because she's doing that character?
Yeah.
I don't think that the Wyatt Sicks should ever, ever, ever be seen in full lighting. It should always go dark. Not fully dark. Obviously, it's a safety issue. But it should always, like, their paranormal activity is affecting the lighting.
Something.
So when they come out, no matter what they come out, whether it's Nikki Cross, whether it's Joe Gacy, no matter who it is, that the lights should always go a little less dark. And everyone's like, kind of like, what's happening, Like, it'd be like if Undertaker wrestled with, like, so, like, it's his entrance, but then during the match, it's still like this kind of purpley haze. Because that will really be like, that one match was different than the others, and it was like kind of dark in there, and like they should keep that. It's a very easy switch with LED lights nowadays.
They need something, man. Even if it was like the way that it was viewed on the television, where it's like it looks like an old VHS tape, even when they're wrestling, that like you rewound a million times. Like, just they need something to keep them magical. Because once they break the barrier and they go into the ring, they're just professional wrestlers,
right?
And they can't do supernatural stuff in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't exist. We all know that. So it's just tricky, dude. It's just tricky. I think
you're right. Maybe they could just do it for the TV audience, they're on TV.
And the house show's excited to be there anyway. Yeah, something, dude. They need something. I think you're right. Next up, this was the toughest match of the night. This was the IC title match, Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. This match was made after we recorded, so we didn't have a prediction on this. The only prediction we had so far was Roman and Bronson, and we all picked Roman, so we were right on there, and we made you money. There was a big miss in this match, which took a lot of people out of the moment. The story coming up was good. I like the Jimmy Connors Wimbledon story. I like when the veteran is going to go deep in a tournament and make a run. They did it with Nigel McGuinness versus Zack Sabre Jr. in AEW. They're doing it here with Nikki and Becky in a match that had never been made before. They'd never wrestled before, and you could tell. And I like both these girls a lot, but this match just didn't play, man. And I don't know what it was. The crowd did not want Nikki. They wanted Becky, even though Becky was the heel and Nikki was the babyface. So the whole energy of the match switched right away because they were booing Nikki and cheering Becky. Maybe that's what threw it off and messed up the chemistry. It just didn't play for me, and it was what it was. Becky has a moment later in the night that saved it, but this match didn't play that strong for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, this was tough. It was. I don't know how to talk about it without seeming disrespectful, but just the whole match was kind of clunky. It was very like. I bought into it more than most people when they were doing their back and forth with crowd work. I was like, all right, this is good. Maybe this could be good. But when it came down to just the pound for pound wrestling in the thing, I was like, it was hard for me to not come out of it. Like I wasn't in it anymore. I was going, geez, these hits are very theatrical. Like, when your friend watches wrestling that doesn't like wrestling, who's like, this crap's fake, and you're like, then you have to like defend wrestling and be like, no, yeah, I know, but it's fun. Like, they're telling a story. I became that friend. I was like, this is terrible. Like that move right there. So I'm not trying to be too hard. Also, I just think Becky's more superior than the IC title. I know she's bringing the title up because
yes.
But I still see it as like a slight to her almost. I'm like, why is she in the IC thing? And she's doing great things with that belt and for that belt. But I think she's better than that. I think she's also better than having to do this match. And it was not great, is all I'm going to say.
Next up, I lost you guys some money. But Jeff and Alex made you money if you didn't listen to me. The Donnybrook match, it was Sheamus's match. How do you lose your own match, Sheamus? But he did. Rusev submitted him with the damn accolade, whatever it's called, and a shillelagh. Not cool. Brutal match, super creative. Did his white noise, I think it's called, where he's got him on his back. He did it like off a giant whiskey barrel into a friggin' table. It was awesome. Cool. I love when Sheamus just actually beats people up and lets people actually beat him up. So it looks like a real fight because it is. So I love his matches. He calls them bangers, and it certainly was. But again, I got the finish wrong. I believed in you, Sheamus. You let me down, man. And Rusev got the win. So we'll see what's next for Rusev. It doesn't matter what's next for Sheamus. He's always going to be beloved and cared for. The crowd loves him, and all his matches are fun. So yeah, that was my thoughts. Nice, easy one to talk about. Tons of fun. Brutal. Wish there was blood because now I'm an AEW sicko. But it was still fun. And shout out to Logan Paul. He had a little nosebleed. That was cool. Anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say that I like that they used all the parts of the set. So it's like they brought out like a little like Irish pub bar. Instead of the prime table, and then they had like these big whiskey barrels set up, and I thought it was just for looks. I was like, oh, that's cool. Instead of the prime table being a prime table for this, it's a little bar, which is kind of cool because these guys are kind of representing the other countries. You know, you got Rusev and you got Sheamus, and we're in France, but you know all these other places kind of represented. And then they went through all that stuff. They slammed, Sheamus got slammed through that little bar, and then Rusev got slammed through the tables off of those whiskey barrels. I mean, I really liked that they used all that stuff. I love Rusev and I love Sheamus. I was kind of confused on how they led up to this match. The story leading up to this match was kind of like
I totally agree.
Old school and strange, but the match itself was awesome. And here I am. This is classic Jeff. My entire life, I've done it on this podcast a million times. I think he was actually hurt when he was giving him the thing. Like when he was doing his final move, like I feel like Sheamus was like, all right. That's like, I think it was kind of like very uncomfortable for him. And
funny, dude.
And he was like kind of, hey man, the match is over. It was that's what I feel like. I feel like he was going, ouch, dude, that sucks what you're doing. But it was great. I thought the match was cool, and I love both those guys. And they really commit to it, like you said. Like you can see them swelling up and getting marked and bleeding and like banged up elbows, and you can see like little wounds forming on them during the match, which really keeps me in it.
That's all Sheamus matches are because he's so white. Like he bruises so awesome, like everywhere on his body. This looks great, dude.
You'll see
it. All right, next up, Cena versus Logan Paul. Would have been match of the night, but the main event I think took it. Logan Paul can wrestle his butt off. John Cena called the match. You can obviously see and hear him call his matches, but he called a great match. He's like a catcher working with a young pitcher. That's like the baseball analogy that I could equate it to, like the veteran catcher who's like calling the game, and the young pitcher's really throwing some good heat and controlling what he's doing. You know, the build-up for this was tricky for me because I think Cena's a lot better on the mic than Logan is right now. I'd love to see Logan have somebody speak for him and protect him a little bit on the microphone. He gets a little tight and nervous up there. But when he's in the ring wrestling, man, he wrestles free as hell and gives a really solid match, a really fun match every single time. I don't know how much is coming from his head and how much is Hurricane Helms, because I think that's the guy that works with him the most. Shout out Shane Helms. And Cena's John Cena, man. He's just badass, and he sells like crazy, and he needs the crowd's energy to get him up. So they sing him a French song, Jeff. I don't know what the words were, but I think it was "We Want Freddie." Clap, clap.
Yeah,
clap,
that's
clap.
What I heard.
That's what I think. I didn't take French, but I'm pretty sure, man. I watched a Sophie Marceau movie because she was hot back in the day, and so my French is pretty tight. But yeah, man, really fun match. I picked John Cena. We all picked John Cena. You all picked John Cena because you knew he wasn't going to lose that match, especially with Brock Lesnar around the corner. He's got to have a win under his belt. So we made you money on this one as well. I had a ton of fun watching it. What about you, sir?
We got to give Logan Paul his flowers. He's so good. He's so good. He was hamming it up so over the top, and it worked because he's just such a little jerky in there, like, which was exactly what you want. The way he's doing it, it's like he's really, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but it's got a very classic kind of heel to it. Like it has like an old school heel to it, which I really, really, really like. Cena crushed it, man. Gave us everything we wanted. Hurricane Rana, Code Red, Styles Clash, Angels Wings, gave us the 5-knuckle shuffle or whatever it's called. He literally was classic Cena for those fans and for us at home. And then he also was hustling he still got everything. Still got it chance never been more true for John Cena. He's a star. It literally was. It was fun to watch him realize, oh, yeah, this is the last time I'll be in Paris in wrestling. Which, by the way, I'll say it again, wrestlers never retire. Cena will be back in 2 years at Royal Rumble or something.
Maybe not. Maybe he'll be the first to have a real retirement.
Maybe he'll still be in wrestling. He'll still show up to promote a movie. He'll still show up. We're never going to really lose him. But anyways, he was great. It was very, very fun to watch. It really was. I know John Cena won, but he still put Logan over. You don't need to completely win to
I totally agree with
it was
that.
a great match, and I thought also, I thought the whole thing was awesome.
We're getting ready to close it out here. Getting near the end. We got the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins, the champion, came out looking smooth, not too ridiculous. It was like superstar, rock star, not normal clothes, but not the Wicked Witch of the North coming in all white or some goofy thing with a headpiece and all that. He came in pretty normal. So respect on the clothes. We all picked Seth to retain. This was the easiest call of the night. No way was he going to lose. You don't put Paul Heyman and those two guys with him so he can lose the match, especially if Bronson's going to lose the opener. Division still has to look good at the end. So easy pick. We made you cash on this one, but that's not the story of the match. The story of the match is CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We knew LA Knight wasn't going to get it. We knew Jey Uso wasn't going to get it. Hell, he got beat up and hurt by Braun before the match even started. But he gave a valiant effort. LA Knight and CM Punk will have a future storyline together, I believe. But in this match, it comes down to Seth and CM Punk. And CM Punk hits the go to sleep. And Seth bounces off the ropes and lands right on a tired and exhausted CM Punk's shoulders while he's on his knees, and he laughs. He's like, I can't believe you landed right in the same position to take another go to sleep. And he stands up and he starts talking to the crowd. I don't know what he said. It's probably in French. And he said, bonsoir, mon ami. That means goodbye, my friend. And then Becky Lynch said, oh, hell no. Wow, pow, pow, pow. And busted him right in his nuts. And you're like, Freddie, how'd you know it was Becky Lynch? Well, I didn't. And neither did you, because it was a ninja. And then when the ninja took off their mask, it revealed themselves to be the Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch, the wife of Seth Rollins. She protected her man because she is the man, and she's willing to punch nuts to prove it. So, yeah. So it
took her a while to take that mask off, too.
It did take a little while. She forgot how she put it on. She was like, I'll just pull it up.
What the heck? Take the mask off. I knew it was her before the mask came off. I think it's Becky, maybe? I don't know. Small body.
Yeah, you could tell it was a girl for sure. If it's a girl, it's going to be Becky. But we're saying it was a ninja, Jeff. Come on.
Yeah, this little ninja.
So this little ninja came in. This cute little ninja came in, punches him right in the nuts, not so cute, reveals herself to be Becky Lynch. And then they talk shit to Jelly Roll and I like Jelly Roll now because he did the job and lost his match. So why are you talking shit to somebody that's cool and I like?
I didn't see him talking shit to Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Your music sucks. This is how you play. This is how you play music."
Except that sounds even.
Oh, she was talking mad shit. She's like, "My impression sounds better than your music." Like she was.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hear any of this.
Oh no, she hated him and his teeth. And and then she talked some shit to Post Malone and said his music sucks too. She went off with her husband and he said, "Let's go back to the hotel, baby." And that was the end of the night. And then Big E drops the biggest internet bombshell ever, and he goes, "You know what could happen? If it's Seth and Becky, it could be CM Punk and AJ Lee." And the other announcers went crazy, and the whole internet went crazy, and someone in creative went, "God damn it, that's what we were going to do." Fuck. Ah, shit.
Shame on Big E is what I think. We've got to do better at keeping secrets in 2024.
I don't think he knew. I think he was just speculating. Yeah, in 2024, you were fine not keeping secrets. But this is 2025.
Well, it's just like, that's the whole thing. The only reason we like something is because it's a surprise. A joke ain't good if you spoil the punchline. And a story ain't good if everyone spoils the ending. It's like...
Hey, have you heard the joke where the end is the chicken has to get to the other side? Have you heard that one?
No,
all right, let me tell you this joke. So why? Oh, wait,
exactly,
you're right. No, exactly. I think you're right, Jeff. Yeah.
Well, like whenever there's a wrestler returning, let him return. Don't don't show them pulling up to the arena and getting out of the car for a shot, like teasing it. Like,
and stop advertising that the surprises are going to be there to the house audience. Like, they start screaming the person's name before the person even comes out because you've advertised it to sell that arena out. Don't do that shit. Sorry, I had to jump on a
No, I agree with that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like all these wrestling fans are so into the product. We love it so much that they're good at finding stuff and they're good at guessing. Like, oh, AJ Lee's coming. I saw a sign that said AJ Lee and CM Punk pointed to it. Or I saw. So if they're already this good and they're already good, then don't help them. Like try to be more secretive. That's why that Seth Rollins thing changed the game overnight. That's why Brock Lesnar coming back broke the internet. It's because they weren't going Brock Lesnar 2 weeks from now they just let it happen and they kept it a secret and they didn't bring everyone in on the thing. So I know that our podcast, we're not like a news breaking podcast, but we don't need to be. And also, like, why does Dave Meltzer get to spoil everything before it happens? I don't understand why it's allowed.
Yeah, wreckers of shit. Stop wrecking shit.
Stop spoiling.
All right, recap, Jeff. Braun Breaker, instant main event credibility. Gonna get a match with him and Roman when Roman's done being a movie star. Rusev gets the submission over Sheamus, elevates him towards his next opponent, and he can start maybe chasing a title, like a mid-card title maybe. John Cena with a signature win in Europe, and the people still believe. They love their babyface John Cena. We're getting close to the end. We're getting close to Brock Lesnar, so that'll be fun. And remember, Brock Lesnar myrtleized him the last time they wrestled and beat him in like 33 seconds. So John Cena's getting the win back, and it's going to be a brutal match. It'll be like 35 minutes long, and he's going to actually beat the Beast Incarnate.
They better do some sort of freak thing for us to believe that Brock would lose to John Cena.
He's going to AA him like off a freaking balcony or something. Dude.
Bring a gun to the match or something.
Yeah, he's going to hit him with a Louisville Slugger. What else? We got Rollins and Punk, very personal now, could lead to an intergender match. By the way, I'm joking. That's never going to happen. They hate those matches. Becky, is she a part of the vision? We don't know. It could be. The tag scene is weird to me. The Wyatt Sicks keep the belts. The Profits, is there going to be doubt in their tag team? No. So I don't know where they're going. But that's pretty much it. We're going to say goodbye to the Peacock PLE era. It is over. That was their final PLE. I think from now on, they're going to be on ESPN. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. That's our show. Paris delivered a classic. There was emotion, there was violence, and the kind of angles that hook you for weeks. I didn't say that. Our producer, Alex, said that. Also, tomorrow, or whenever you like to listen to Unsanctioned, stay tuned for that. We're going to get into to new stuff on that episode. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do. You just got to watch, because sometimes we talk about whatever we want, and if I advertise it, I might not do it. But thank you for listening. On behalf of Jeff, I'm Freddie. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be here next week, too. Peace.